what's been something which always and which continues to inspire me about you specifically is that you're managing all of this while being a mother, and you have taken your kids to work, you've taken your family to work, and you brought your work to your family also. So now coping with the virus and the lockdown, and we're all working from home. Before the work
Mm.
from home, you were already also working from home. You would come in for an hour or two every day and zoop, go pick up the kids and then home and feed them and do all that and then put them to bed and then back on calls again at night. How has that
Mm.
been? How did you get that like that jazba also to end up doing it?
So, Asad, I think anyone who gets an opportunity to do that would do that. I've been very lucky. I've had people who have understood that, okay, they've understood, they've seen through the sort of the restrictions I have, and they have seen them as restrictions, and they have identified and trusted that I really want to do what, I want to work. And when I was employed, I think I was lucky. So it's not that everybody has understood. It's that I have also been turned away from places where I for example, needed to, I had bills to pay and I would want to keep a job. There were people who said very, bluntly, who were not even open for a conversation. They said, uh, we don't have a policy of just having people come in part time, so sorry. And then I have been lucky enough to have people who so Idea Simple was an example, because that was my very first experience. And my sister met Irfan Amir because she worked in the same building in a different place. So she came and told me that there's somebody who said that if your sister has worked at Adcom and is free and has a kid, so she can't do like a full-time job, I'm open to having her part-time or something. And this was someone who didn't know me, who didn't know how what kind of a work ethic I possess. And I said, no, I can't. My child is one. I was a first-time mother. I didn't know what to do. I had nobody to leave him with. And so it took a lot of courage and tears and leaping into something you don't know. It was very difficult to do, but I got lucky because he said to me, you can come in for an hour thrice a week. And I said, I don't know, because I have nobody in my family has used a daycare ever. So I've left him at a daycare and I can't breathe right now. I said this to him, and I think it was my honesty or my, being so blunt. He said, you know what, bacche pal jate hain. It's your first kid. He's little. It's difficult, but believe me, he's gonna be fine. And he didn't need to say that. He could have just judged me and said, okay, fine, then, why are you here? But he didn't. So I've been very lucky that way. And that was thrice a week, 1 hour. Many of those when I would be leaving my kid crying, and I would come out and I would cry. I would have to actually stop myself from crying because I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. But you know what? It worked out because of the same thing. Because if you keep trying to do something and you don't give up on it, it works. You have to believe in it. It's as theatrical as it sounds, but that's how my life has been. So it's worked. And that wasn't the only person. This is the second time. So I work with this place called Ithaca Capital, which you know about. And the same thing happened with Saad Faruqi. And he said, you can work from anywhere. I don't mind. These are the things that need to be done. You can come and meet us for, this many hours a week, and you can build a team. And so at that point, Ithaca Capital didn't even have a logo. And now they have multiple websites, and they've grown in the past 3 to 4 years. And I've built a team, and things are exactly what Saad said they would be. I didn't know, but I thought if he's with me on it, and I'm fortunate, then what excuse do I have to say I can't do this? And of course, there are days when I say that, for to which my husband is witness. But then again, I'm lucky that way. He understands that, it's just me having a bad day, or I'm exhausted, or I just need to get over it, and I'll be okay tomorrow. And that's what keeps me going. I think it's very simple. I think anyone who loves what they do and gets an opportunity just would do it. You know, the
And
sad thing is, Asad, the sad thing is, and this is something I feel very strongly about, and I would love to, discuss this with you, and we
please,
and we do talk about it, which is, and so the last time I wrote an article on this was in Aurora, and I wrote a work from home article, and it's very strange that lockdown happened, and that article keeps coming back to me, and it spoke about things like trust, that employers need to believe that someone who is saying they will do something, they need to develop that sense. They need to understand and discriminate and discern that there is a person who looks eager, who has a good track record, who is hungry, and is also dedicated, is not just doing this for the money, is also passionate about what they do, is good at what they do. All of those people deserve the opportunity to do it. And sadly, I feel there's like a handful of people who would say it's okay, you can work whenever, wherever, because your reasons are real. You need to go home, your child is important, your child needs you, or is sick. I've had people around me, siblings, cousins, women who have very little children, who have kids throwing up on them while they're on a meeting with their boss, and they can't put the phone down because they just can't say it. It has happened to me too. I have had a miscarriage, and after it I have called up office, and I have heard things like, it's too bad you can't come in today, there was a lot of work, very sorry to hear that, but there's a lot of work, let's discuss it tomorrow if you can come in tomorrow. And I've faced that and experienced that kind of inhuman treatment. And so it's just the mindset, you see. It doesn't mean that they work better or earn better or retain better, or anything. Those companies can change their mindset, and that should be a challenge they should be ready to accept, and that's how they should grow. And I hope that I can live up to it, and I hope that I can, for the rest of the years I have, this is one of my invisible fights. I want this to change in Pakistan and in Karachi. And I know so many women, so many of my friends who are sitting home because कैसे जाएं, बच्चा है, घर के काम है, or there are bad days when you've just had it, you can't. And nobody understands that at work. You get fired, you get insulted, nobody understands it. You're tired of defending and explaining and covering up, so you give up on it, right? So yeah, it's just human, it's just empathy that's lacking, and that's something I think at Backspace you and I are very, very conscious of. We really
yeah,
want to keep that, right?
and we've had